Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett, streaming live on News 6 Plus and ClickOrlando.com. I'm Bridgett Ellison. Good to be back with you on this Tuesday, October 15th. And it is National Bullying Prevention Month, if you didn't know. But we have a live interview this morning with Dr. Baucom to talk about that and break down some of the issues around bullying at every age. So that is coming up a little bit later. And we want to get you ready for this wonderful weather we're having. The kids are heading back to school across much of Central Florida. A little bit different routine depending on where you are because of the hurricane, but good to have them headed back to school. And Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is in the Pinpoint Weather Center with some nice weather lined up for us. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Bridget. Welcome back.
Thanks.
You know what? Yes. At the end of the day, no matter what you need to do, if you're still picking up after Milton, maybe you're one of those who don't have power still, or if you're closely watching the river levels, right? No matter really what is going on post Milton, or you're just trying to enjoy the day, trying to get back to normal, the weather's really going to be cooperating all across Central Florida. Now, today it's going to be still a bit on the warmer side, so I wouldn't say it's crack the windows and let the breeze in just yet, but that
Itty
certainly
bitty
will be the
crack.
case. Maybe a little tiny crack while you're still blasting the AC, but really start to enjoy it with those windows rolled down as you're maybe picking up the kids tomorrow afternoon. That's
All
going to be
right.
that real sweet spot. So let's take it to the map, show you what we're talking about, Bridget. Temperatures are going to start falling by tomorrow. So that cold front is expected to arrive this afternoon, I should say late tonight into early Wednesday morning. It will take a little bit of time to get some of that cool air kind of settled in, but at least on Wednesday afternoon, highs are going to be in the mid 70s. But that coolest point of the week will come early Thursday morning. We could have some areas down into those 50s, but behind the front, not only will the weather really turn nice and comfortable and cooler than average, it's also going to be pretty windy out there. Just do be aware, beach and boating conditions for the rest of the week, not looking good. But hey, everything else on land is looking good. Right now out the door, conditions are where they should be for this time of the year. Mid to upper 60s, a few 70s there sprinkled in. But what we're really going to notice is those cooler temperatures come Thursday morning. Our afternoon forecast taking here hour by hour. Highs today will be back into the upper 80s. That's still running about a degree or so above average, so not too bad. At least all that dry air makes things still feel pretty comfortable. As we head into your Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, that's when we will start to see the cloud cover start to build in, the winds start to veer out of the north, maybe an isolated sprinkle. I really am not too concerned about any real additional rain totals. Most of it will pretty much be, basically evaporate by the time it makes its way down to the surface. But the clouds will come through overnight, clearing out into the day on Wednesday. And then that's why Thursday morning will be the coolest point of the day. So breezy, comfortable, all starts by tomorrow. Look at that cold air mass. Mind you, this cold air mass is taking over pretty much half of the country at this point in time, where temperatures are almost sub-freezing this morning in parts of the Midwest, up and down the Tennessee Valley. We're going to be tapping into that. Of course, it moderates a little bit before it gets here, but hey, we'll be able to enjoy the fall weather like everybody else in the country. Temperature trend looks like this. 87 will be your high today. We'll go down to the mid 70s, about a 10-degree drop between Tuesday and Wednesday. And then that little dip is always that second night where we see the coolest weather. So that will be Thursday morning. Wake up temperatures could be in the upper 50s. I can't rule out the chance of maybe a few spots in our far northern zones, inland northern, like Marion County, northern Lake County, could also see some locations dip down possibly into the 40s. But for the most part, safe to say, everywhere inland temperatures will be in the 50s, between about the mid to upper 50s. Mid 60s, though, along the coastline. I do want to mention real quick, we do have two areas that we are watching. I barely even want to talk about this because as of right now, impacts to Central Florida, very unlikely. I just want to tell you that there is something out there. I don't want to add to the stress. At the end of the day, we've had enough tropical chatter for the last month. So as of right now, let us be worried about it. I am not a procrastinator. Believe me, if there's anything you need to be worried about, I will let you know. So that's certainly the good news. Don't be going down the rabbit hole on social, because if you want to find something, you'll find it. As we get results here, the full 7-day forecast, just really nice weather. We'll be moderating back into the low 80s by the weekend come Saturday and Sunday. I know a lot of people are kind of itching to get out and do those fall festivities, whether it's for Halloween or picking up the pumpkin or fall festivals or just enjoying time outside with the kids or whatever the case may be. my whole summer thing was like, Mom, why don't you come outside and play with me? I'm like, it's too hot. It's too hot. Now I don't need to say that. I can actually sit back and enjoy the outdoors with the kids starting tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Fall is what you make it around here. And we learned so much this morning about the truth behind pumpkin products.
Oh, I
We'll
don't
get
know
to
how I
that
feel
later.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that,
Mm-hmm.
Bridget, to be honest with you.
I know. All right, Candace.
So,
well, thank you.
but although you say you're more of a sweet potato
I
fan
am.
anyway.
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that we've learned all of this, good thing too.
Give me an ooey gooey apple pie. That's my jam.
Can't go wrong.
That's my jam. No,
that sounds really good.
It does.
Okay.
Thanks,
Candace.
Bye. Get ready.
Bye.
Get those stretchy pants ready for the season.
Oh man.
Bring it.
All in moderation.
Yeah.
Famous last words. Okay.
Right. Bye, Bridget.
All right. See ya. Okay. Well, Trooper Steve is out and about today, I believe, and he is going to be in results 1. And right now he looks a little bit frozen in time. So do we want to give him a chance to reconnect and then come back around? Okay, Kathleen says we'll come back around. In the meantime, a few headlines we want to tell you about, including a missing child alert. And right now, there is a search for a 7-year-old, and his name is Emerson Felix. And Orange County deputies need your help. He was last seen around 7 last night along Flintshire Street, not far from Rio Grande Avenue. And he was wearing a light-colored shirt with a black logo across his chest and light blue shorts. And deputies say that, because he is just 7 years old, they are really concerned about his safety. And we have been posting all of this on clickorlando.com. And so if you have any idea about where he might be, call 911. I'm going to just show you a picture of Emerson, if I can get that up there. If you have any idea where he might be, he was last seen along Flintshire Street, not far from Rio Grande Avenue last night. Call Orange County Sheriff's Office or 911 and help them locate him, because they are worried about him, please. We are also covering the flooding that's happening. This is a byproduct of the hurricane, and river levels continue to rise because that water is still just redistributing itself across the area. So there are actually voluntary evacuation orders in place now for some in Sumter County because of the Withlacoochee River. And so some people have already had to be rescued from their homes. They're asking others to evacuate now. Ezzy Castro has more on that.
Sumter County putting out a voluntary evacuation order for people living along the Withlacoochee River. News 6 was there yesterday after deputies and firefighters went door to door to help residents get out as water levels continue to rise.
We evacuated and then we came back. But yeah, at least we got our neighbors, we got our animals.
The county says river levels have exceeded 11 feet and are expected to surpass 13 feet by this Friday, putting the river in major flood stage versus minor flood stage as originally anticipated. Our Troy Campbell spoke to a resident who lives by Lake Bowling, who is also having the same issue.
You're using the kayak to empty your belongings out of your house, things
Correct.
that might not be able to be replaced. Explain
Right,
that.
yeah, everything that you can, and there are heavy things, of course, that you cannot take, or so just you can save what everything that you can.
We'll continue to keep you posted on how things are going there as those levels keep changing. Want to get back over to Trooper Steve. We got him now. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Technology.
Yeah, kind of crazy. You want to see something really cool that I found
Sure.
in my closet this morning at this News 6 studio?
Socks? Are those socks?
With my dogs on it.
Oh,
With my dogs.
on your dogs.
I don't know who sent. Yeah, I don't know who sent these. I love you. Are you kidding me right now? And then a gift bag I got sent. We're going to do an unboxing right here because I just finished year 7 here at News 6 coming up in the next couple of days. So let's see what Dorito socks.
Oh.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. I'll take them.
I like the
Okay.
themes.
I've never eaten a ranch Dorito, but let's do it. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. But busy morning. We are dealing with craziness out on the roads right now. Not only on the roads, but my house is a mess because my dog is so sick at the
You
moment. So
told
that's why we're
me.
mobile. Yeah, let's get straight to the roads because DOT camera showing northbound 95, southbound 95 still shut down this morning right at Pineda Causeway for a fatal crash investigation that's taking place just south of this intersection out there. So I need you to be cautious, please. Everyone's required to exit over at Pineda, and that's causing some major issues, even down on Wickham Road. You can see northbound lanes heavily delayed out here. A lot of that traffic detouring to O'Galley, but I do believe they are doing their best to get a northbound lane open within the next few minutes. East of there, though, we did have a crash that could slow down some of you as you leave there over at Wickham and O'Galley. So please be careful out there this morning. Outside of that, we're in pretty decent shape outside of Brevard County. Crash at Sand Lake and Weingard. And then just north of that area, DOT cam showing those delays are about to start out in the westbound I-446 area. DOT cam taking a second to update because I can tell you the sun is up. So if you don't know the sun's up, I'm telling you the sun's up and it's going to be fine. Westbound, we're seeing some slight, there we go, some slight delays out there, but those are routine. Now, Bridgett, today I'm going to be doing a traffic kind of observation over at 436 and Aloma, that orange Seminole County line. Some residents have emailed me about some people making illegal U-turns out there. So step, and we're going to go check it out.
It's a busy area. All right. I'm sure there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah, I wish there was a magic wand I could just be like, fix the problems. But we'll go. Job security keeps me employed, and we'll go check it out.
I want you to follow along with someone who checks the light timers, the timing of the lights.
Oh, those traffic engineers, man, they have a hard job. And then when other lanes start getting added, then they don't do the update. And then I still think I-4 Lee Road area is one of the worst in Central Florida. One of the worst.
And I'm sure people at 436 and Aloma will say it's their area. So looking forward to that.
You're
That's
right.
At 10?
You're right. Yes, ma'am. 10 o'clock. I'll see you then.
Okay, thanks, Trooper Steve.
See ya.
All right. Breaking overnight, a milestone along the Space Coast. SpaceX sending up its 100th launch of the year. And this happened just after 2. A Falcon 9 lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station with nearly 24 Starlink internet satellites. And like clockwork, minutes after launch, the first stage booster landed successfully out on a drone ship in the Atlantic. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back with Dr. Baucom to talk about National Bullying Prevention. Welcome back, 7:46 now. You know, October is an awareness month that is for so many things. We've talked about breast cancer awareness, domestic violence, abuse, and also bullying is a topic that comes up in October. But of course, all these topics are year-round things. And we have Dr. Trishonda Baucom back with us this morning from Enriched Life Counseling. And it's good to see you again, Dr. Baucom. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
And you know, national bullying is something that affects really all age groups. When it comes to your practice, what do you see most often?
Yeah, most often I see kind of a weight between reporting the bullying and some of the negative effects it has on an individual. And like you mentioned, bullying affects not just kids, but adults as well. And it can be quite common at the workplace.
Mm-hmm. And when we talk about it in that school age range, I like to think about it from a multifaceted viewpoint. So when we look at maybe the children participating in the bullying, as well as the child who may feel like they're being bullied, there's a couple of things to think about when it comes to root causes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, back in 2010, the Center for Education and the government actually started researching bullying. And so now we are able to have some of the statistics really, like one in every five kid it shows receives bullying. And like you said, bullying is multifaceted, where we don't just look at the victim, we also look at the bully itself, and looking at the ways in which we can be an upstander, the ways in which we can remediate, the way in which we can handle some of those things. Because we do know that both sides um, have negative impacts like low self esteem, declining grades, depression, and even sometimes leading to suicidal ideation as well.
And that's really unfortunate, and it's sad, really. But so going to the bully first, what are some of the things that are happening that may be causing a child to exhibit behaviors that might be described as bullying? Is it things at home? Could it be, behavioral issues? What are some of the things that it comes down to sometimes?
Yeah, so and most of the research it says to look at the behavior, not the physical traits of a person. It's not just popular kids or those that are the ones that bully. I think way back when I was younger, um, we used to think of bullying as like a rite of passage to like toughen kids up, but we know that's not the truth, and both sides are equally hurting. Just how they're exhibiting their behavior is different. Um, but yes, you can have things. Maybe they're academically have poor achievement academically, so the behavior is let me overshadow this with bullying someone else, a sense of control, the self-esteem, the depression, things going on at home, things going on with friends. Sometimes it's just the parts of groups that you choose to socialize with too, and what they're doing. You don't want to do something different than them, so you have to be part of that.
Mm. And then when it comes to a child who may feel like they're being bullied, what are some of the things they can do to fight back? Is it maybe looking for different ways to set boundaries? Is it communicating with the teachers or the administrators in charge at that school or in that environment, whether it maybe is a team or some sort of class they're taking or after school activity? How can we, help that child overcome a sort of a difficult situation that can create a lot of anxiety, like you said?
Yeah, one of them is that we do want to teach them to speak up, to alert either friends or a safe adult that something is going on. That will help us put protective measures in place, and safety is of importance, especially when we're addressing bullying. Um, Making sure they're not a harm to themselves. And part of bullying is including that self isolation piece. So we want to connect them. Sometimes a lot of schools, especially during this month, will have a lot of bullying prevention programs to help bridge those gaps, to work on these self esteem pieces, to work on these mediation points as well. Sometimes, especially in the role of cyberbullying and social media, we want to teach those around not to just be bystanders and witness that going up, but to be upstanders and to speak up for those who don't have a voice in those moments as well.
When do you know the parents maybe need to step in and make a change? How do you determine that or work with families on that?
Yeah. So some of them we get like, what are some of the warnings or the tip points that something is going on, and how bad is it to where we do need to? Most often, parents notice education, right? That they might see a decline in their grades, um, a loss of academic achievements, not wanting to go to school. Physically, you may see an increase in physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, trouble sleeping, fear or an anxiety. And so those are the pieces that I would look out for, because those are your signs that something's going
Mm-hmm.
on. And like you said, we don't automatically jump to let's switch everything in their world, because again, if they're already feeling isolated, moving them to a whole new environment where they don't know anyone is just as detrimental sometimes for a young child as well. But if those things continue to happen, or they have a greater impact, then we definitely do want to look at what are the changes, and sometimes just asking the youth, what is it that you need? What would be most helpful in this moment? And sometimes just ask, hey, I want to make sure, are we being called names at school? Is anyone physically hurting you? Like, ask the specific questions and sometimes not wait for them to come and tell you that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm getting bullied.
Yeah. And so, what about when it comes to your practice and maybe working with children and families on these types of elements?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the practice, we'll work on the mental health effects that it has. Like I said before, we'll see things like a hit to their self-esteem, which has an overarching impact on grades, on social interactions, on how they see themselves. So we definitely focus on that self-esteem and getting that to a baseline level again. If there's any symptoms of depression or anxiety, we'll work on those to give them the tools, but also to give the parents the tools to be able to support them through this time.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about different types of bullying. Verbal harassment is the most common, followed by social harassment, then physical. And cyberbullying, one of those elements that's also growing. And so when I think about that, children are starting younger and younger with being able to use technology, but kids also beg for that first phone and things like that, or first tablet. So how do we approach making sure that they're not becoming victims of cyberbullying or participating in that, or being possibly exposed by bad influence online?
Yeah, and like you said, it's really scary. You can do a lot with social media nowadays, but just a reminder that bullying is those repeated, repetitive, consistent, threatening or harassing behavior that occurs, especially with cyberbullying. It occurs via the internet or cell phone. And this can look like sending harassing messages, posting false memes, posting private pictures. Um, Impersonating someone. And so we think of all of these things. And I mean, I think of when I was a kid, I didn't have to live through becoming like a viral sensation overnight over something. And that is a fear point of a lot of youth, that, especially in the office, that we hear about. Everything gets turned into a meme or the joke. And then you can filter and edit so many things too. So it may not be the truth as well.
Mm-hmm. Not always
But
the healthiest
absolutely,
place.
when you give your child a device, you want to make sure that they have the maturity and are ready. And also part of having that is that you're actually continuing to monitor what's going on those devices too. And that's something I see in the office a lot. Like, youth teens get the devices and the parents have no idea what apps, like what they're sending on there. And I'm just like, you should probably check in on that.
All right, that is good advice. Dr. Bacham, thanks for being with us. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, bye. So, my co-anchor and inside guy Crystal Moyer has more about that pumpkin controversy we chatted about a little bit earlier. Here's Crystal.
Just like a jack-o'-lantern, some pumpkins can wear a disguise. There's a secret hiding in this can. You probably expect there to be pumpkin inside, right? Instead, it's more likely to contain a variety of squash like these.
Even if the can says 100% pumpkin, it's probably a mix of pumpkin and other golden squash, which is actually denser and sweeter. The FDA has allowed it to be called pumpkin since 1938.
But this trick is still a treat. Honestly, you probably can't tell the difference because it's the spices you add, like cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves, that give your baked goods that delicious pumpkin spice flavor. And enjoying pumpkin is a good thing.
Whether it's fresh or canned, pumpkin and squash are super healthy. They're rich in antioxidants, and 1 cup has as much vitamin A as you need in a day or more.
And don't feel bad about choosing canned pumpkin over fresh. A cup of canned has twice as much fiber as fresh pumpkin and is loaded with iron. But whatever you do, don't confuse canned pumpkin with canned pumpkin pie mix. Pumpkin pie mix can have about 48 grams of added sugars per cup, and pumpkin doesn't just need to be for dessert.
Pumpkin can be a great addition to your morning smoothie. Drop in a few tablespoons with some Greek yogurt, a banana, a little milk, and some cinnamon. It's a healthy and delicious start to your day.
If you want to take a closer look at that or share it, go to clickorlando.com/insider and sign up to be an insider. It's free. Speaking of contests, you know, the Insider has a lot of great contests. We want you, though, to help us pick a baby costume for baby Reese. And right now, you have a choice between a dinosaur, a dragon, a chicken, or a lion. And I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm partial to lion, but just go on there, vote as many times as you want. We can't wait to tell you the winning choice. That's coming up on October 29th. That'll be here before you know it. So help us pick that costume for baby Reese. That's going to do it for us for breakfast. We'll see you at noon, and I'll see you back here tomorrow at 7:32. Have a great one.